Welcome back to our channel. Man, that feels so weird to say since it's been quite a while. I've been pretty busy. I've been going through some stuff with my I don't know, I just like mom stuff, like getting into my head. I just been feeling overwhelmed is the word I'm trying to say. So I've been having some breakdowns. I've been busy. Isabella's growing up, so I have to look after her. She's starting to eat like solid foods, like actual foods. So I have to be cooking for her 3 times a day. Israel, you know, when he comes home, I have to have food ready for him and stuff. And it's also pretty chaotic. The base where we're at, he goes to the field. It's called the box, and that means Israel has to go for 10 or 14 days training every month or 2 months. So it's just me and the baby with all of the chores, all of the stuff that I need to get done in the house. So it's been pretty chaotic. And sorry for that noise. It's my iRobot vacuuming. Yeah, it's a lifesaver. What can I say? I'm pretty lazy. But it's not that I'm trying to be lazy. It's just I let that vacuum first, and then I'll go vacuum and deep clean and then mop and everything. But that just gives me a lot of time to say like the little stuff I don't pick up with my broom. Anyways, that was off topic. My family's gonna come pick me up today. I'm gonna go home for 14 days just to, you know, go back home, enjoy some family, let Isabella visit some family. But today I'm gonna make them some costillas entomatada with some rice, and that's the only thing I have left in my fridge. I don't want to buy any groceries and then leave for 14 days and then everything be, you know, just a waste. So that's what I'm gonna make them. And I know I did an Instagram story asking what recipe you guys wanted, and you guys wanted chile rellenos and some homemade alfredo sauce pasta, and those are, I'm gonna make those, but this is the only thing I have today, and that's what I'm gonna make them, the costillas entomatadas and some rice. So I'm just gonna show you how to make it really quick. Isabella is taking a nap, so I'm just gonna get everything prepared so I could get started and show you guys how to make some costillas entomatadas. Okay, for this recipe all you're gonna need is some, just to focus, back ribs. Where we live, they only sell packaged meat, but if you have access to like the fresh meat, I recommend you using that. I'm gonna use about 6, maybe 7 Roma tomatoes, 1 large onion, some of this consome de pollo, and then I'm gonna use some lawrys salt. And then I use some of this kind of rice. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it. And some garlic. So I'm starting to chop up my tomatoes that have already been washed. Whoops, I'm out of text. And I like to cut them into little strips like this. I like the ribs that I'm making right now. I love it with a lot of tomatoes, which is why I'm gonna use a lot of tomatoes. But if you don't like that many tomatoes, you don't have to use that many tomatoes. How I cut my tomato is I just cut the end part of it off like that, and then I just chop it downwards like this. And then what I do is just grab it and then do it kind of like strips. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut the I'm just gonna chop the rest of these tomatoes, and I'll just come back to you when I'm done chopping these off. Okay, so I just got done chopping all of my tomatoes up, and I think this is too little of a tomato, little bit of tomatoes for me, so I might chop 1 or 2 more. it depends. I'm gonna chop my onion next and see how much it looks with this and this together. You could just kind of play with it. It's up to you how you wanna make it your own, or add some seasonings, or don't put this, or try this. It's just, I love cooking and it makes me relax. Okay, so now I'm gonna chop my onion. I like to take the two ends off and then peel the skin that it has off, and put this in the trash. Okay, so now what I like to do with my onion, since I chopped the both ends off, I like to just keep, let me show you guys this way, just keep chopping it like this. And onions make me cry all the time. It's okay, as the more you cook, the better it gets. And now with my onions, all I'm gonna do is just split it in half and then put it where I have the tomatoes. Some already come split in half, so like this, I'm just gonna grab it, split it in half, and then put it where the tomatoes are. Oh, my eyes are burning. Okay, I'm gonna finish chopping this onion off camera and I'll come back to you. I just saw my bowl where I have the tomato and onions, and I am gonna chop another 2 tomatoes and another half of a white onion. Again, if you don't really like onions or tomatoes that much, you don't have to put this much, but I just think it's a lot more tastier like that. But it's all up to your liking. So I'm gonna chop up 2 more tomatoes. There goes 1 tomato. Add the other one. The good thing is I'm using all the tomatoes in my fridge. That way I don't have to worry about it going bad or expiring or molding in my fridge. So that's a good thing. Isabella also loves tomatoes, so I might save her a slice or 2 for her lunch. So that's what I'm gonna do. And now I'm gonna peel my onion. Actually, I'm just gonna cut half since I'm only going to use half. Okay. The onion did make me cry. Oh, onions is not fun to peel. Ah, get off my finger. Okay. So, all I'm doing is just cutting onion and then slicing in half. And then slice half. This already came in half. Okay, so in a pot, you're gonna put water a little bit less than half, and then you're gonna put it on medium-high heat. And what your ribs, all you're gonna do is cut them so they're individually. Let me show you. Oh snap! Sorry. You're gonna cut them so that they're individually, you know, in little, like individual. So you can do that. And then I add two garlics. And then I add about 1/4 of onion. And then to my pot of where my costillas are cooking, I'm gonna add about this much salt. Sorry, I don't have measurements, but it's like a little, let me show you. It's like this much. I'm gonna add that much salt to this. And then I'm gonna let that boil and cook for about an hour to an hour and a half. So when this starts boiling, I'm gonna come back and show you guys how it looks. Okay, so it's been about an hour. Whoa, the fog. Let me turn off the stove. Okay, so it's been about an hour to, well, actually almost an hour and a half. And these look like they are nice and cooked already. Yep. Okay, so on a pan, medium size, you know, thing. Sorry for this. We ordered some new pans already. They're coming in the mail, but this is what I have to work with. So I grab the rib from here and I'm gonna let that cook in the oil. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna let them fry for a little bit, and then I'll come and then I'll show you guys the progress of how these look when they're ready. Okay, so this is what my meat is looking like. Okay, so once you have your meat looking, sorry, I forgot to show you guys this part. But once your meat looks like this, after you fry them for a little, you want to start adding your tomato and onions that you have. Like I said, I like mine with a lot of tomato and onion, but you're just gonna keep mixing it and let the tomato and onion cook a little bit with the oil as well. And then I'll show you guys what you guys have to do afterwards and how it looks once this cooks down a little. Okay, so what I ended up doing was actually I'm just starting to cook the tomato and onions in the same oil and pan that the meat was frying in, and I just took the meat out and I'm gonna let this cook for a little bit, and then I'll add the meat in to this. But I'm gonna let this cook for a little bit longer, and then we're gonna add a cup of the broth or water that the meat was boiling in. So my tomato is starting to simmer with the little bit of oil and tomato juice that I already dropped. So I'm gonna get this like small bowl with a little bit of the beef broth, and I'm gonna add that to that. And I think I'm gonna do 1 1/2. Okay, so with the cap of this, I'm gonna add some, after adding the beef broth of where your meat cooked, I'm gonna add it to my tomatoes and onions. And the consome de pollo, it's honestly to your liking. I add little by little and taste it and see how I like it, and if I don't like how it tastes, I'll just add more, but that's up to your liking. Okay, so I'm gonna let this simmer for a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna add my meat to it. To my meat, I added a little bit of lawrys salt, also to your liking. And yeah, so when this simmers for a little bit longer, I'm gonna add my meat. So for my rice, I'm gonna add a little bit of oil and a cup of the rice. I'm gonna do about 2 cups of rice, or a cup and a half of rice. We're gonna let that cook, or I guess you could say fry, with the oil on medium-high heat until it starts to brown. Okay, so once your tomato and onions start to look like this, like more like a sauce, you're going to start adding your ribs to this. And now what I do is I just let the ribs cook in this sauce. Sorry guys. I just let the ribs cook in this sauce for a little bit. Let it simmer with the sauce, and then I'll turn it off in about maybe 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so my rice is starting to brown. So now what I'm going to do is add tomato and onion, just a little bit, and I'm also going to add, with my spoon, I'm going to add about this much of consome. Probably just a little bit more. With my experience, I've already made rice a lot of times, so I already know what looks right and what doesn't. For those of you who are just starting to make rice, I feel like just add as you go. I know rice, you shouldn't uncover it when you're boiling with the water. But when I was first starting to learn how, I would uncover it just to see if the taste is what I wanted. Now I add the water. Okay, and I used 1.5 cups of rice, so I added 3 cups of water. Now we're gonna let that come to a boil. When it comes to a boil, I'm gonna cover it with the lid and then put it on low heat. I'm gonna taste it. Yeah, that's definitely good. So once this starts to boil, which you see it starting to boil already, and I can't find the lid for this, so I'm gonna use a different one, but all I do is cover it, and then I'm gonna put it on low heat and let that cook. So now it's been about 5 minutes, and this is how it is looking. So this is definitely ready now. So Now I'm gonna turn it off and I'm gonna wait for my rice to cook, and yeah, I'm gonna serve myself and see how it turned out. Okay, so my rice is now done. Sorry, I spilled some. But my rice is now done and I'm gonna serve myself and show you the final product. And this should be your final product and how it looks. I hope you guys enjoyed my recipe and you guys will try it. Isabella's crying because I put her down for a little bit, but I'm gonna try it really quick for you guys. I'm going! The rice is good. I'm gonna try this rib. I'm going, baby! Okay, well, I need to go do mommy duties. I hope you guys like it. And if you do like this video, comment on it. And yeah, it's an easy recipe. It's pretty time consuming, so if you don't really have time, try not to make it. Or if it takes you 4 or 5 hours like it did me, oh well, we have kids. But yeah, you guys need to try it, so good. But yeah, thank you for watching. Sorry, I'm over here trying to get my baby's bottle ready. Thank you for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.